All right, so the Raptors just lost. Um, we've heard that a lot this season. It's pretty common this season actually. And after, I thought the team was gonna be good. I did. I thought they were gonna be what, like 48 to 54 ish win team. Now thinking about that, like 54 sounds like a lot, but at the time it really didn't. Like the team did good last season. I can't remember how many games they won last season specifically, but I know they were the fourth or fifth seed, one of the or the sixth. I damn, I'm already forgetting. But yeah, they were a good team last season, right? And you'd expect them to, I think they're the fifth seed, but you'd expect them to like be good this season, right? No, they suck this season. They just straight up suck. Um, like, and I just thought that I'd pull up the thread on Reddit for today's game with the Timberwolves, which they should have won. They definitely should have won if they were a good team. Actually, even if they're a mid team should have won that one, honestly, because they're on a back to back. They landed, um, they landed from being an away back to back game, an away back to back game. They landed this morning at 4 a.m. At 4 a.m. And they couldn't beat that team. They don't even have two stars, Gobert and Cat. Like what? How can you not have those stars, like, and still win? I don't understand. Ugh. Anyways, like this is the most inexcusable loss this season. Someone says is the first one, and it's agreeable because it is. Like other losses, like they happen, right? Like I know there's been really bad ones this season, but this is one that they really should have won. Like this is the guaranteed, like you just guaranteed tanking, because honestly they don't even need to sell players if they want to tank at this point, because just keeping the same players, they're doing it anyways. But they should sell their players immediately. Everybody except for Scotty. I'd want to keep Precious if anything, Delano, Coloco, but if anybody besides Scotty can go, like the players that like I suggest they can keep, they could still go. Like it's at that point where we're we're bad. We're a bad team. Um, Clutch W for the tank team tank though. Yeah, I mean I remember during the Tampa season, team tank, and like everybody else, like there was like it was like really split, right? There was the people that wanted to tank and there was the people that didn't want to tank. I was someone that wanted to tank because we were bad. What's the point of just being a mid team, right? Like I don't want to be a mid team. I don't want the Raptors to be a mid team. So that's why I wanted them to tank. And I remember like having so many arguments with people that they should tank and people would say they shouldn't. Kem Birch was our big pickup that season, midway through the season, because Aaron Baines and Alex Len were our starters, and Kem Birch looked like a serviceable starter compared to them. Right now he's making what 6 million and he can't even touch the floor, right? Otto Porter Jr., our big signing in the offseason, well, big signing, right? For the Raptors, is a big signing. We never sign people. Like, we sign, like, Svi Mikhailuk of the world, right? We don't sign players that are, I wouldn't say a household name, but, like, if you're a, like, NBA fan, you should know Otto Porter's name, especially a Raptors fan, right? From, like, the Wizards and stuff when he played with them. You should know Otto Porter's name. So, signing him felt pretty nice. He just won a championship and stuff, but like he's always had injury problems his whole career, and you were just hoping that he wouldn't have them when he joined us, and he he had them already. He's had them. He's out the whole season now, right? So there's your big signing. He's gone, right? So now he's basically just salary cap filler. So if the Raptors want to sell and they need some filler, if they're selling like I don't know if they're giving away like Gary, if they're selling Gary, they can include Otto with him. It doesn't really matter at this point. Like I want to see trades like immediately. Like I don't think you wait till the deadline to do what Masai did with like Lowry, for example. When we were waiting, we were hearing offers for like Tyrese Maxey. We're hearing offers for Lowry. Think about that trade now. How good that trade would have been, right? But we're saying like, oh, we want to pick with it, like a first round unprotected with it, right? Now look, like we shouldn't do that again. Like, we really shouldn't. Like, Fred's on the last year of his deal, and I can't imagine his value's that high. Even with him playing good recently, even if he was playing good the whole season, like, how high could it be on a player of his last year of his deal, right? It's a rental. He's still like a team like the Bulls would need him. The Clippers, a team like the Clippers would need him. Like, those teams could be paying a bit more, but like, I don't know, the Mavericks, I guess. But none of those teams have like crazy assets. Like, probably the Clippers have the best assets of those teams, and they don't have picks. So I don't want. Like, I don't think they should wait. Like, the value is just gonna get worse and worse. Pascal's been playing like pretty like, I don't want to say poorly, because like teams are like watching him and like guarding him more now and stuff. But he doesn't look as focused and stuff. So his value might drop a bit if you wait too long. Like, they should try and move him to the Blazers. Like, we've finessed the Blazers before, right? Gary Trent Jr. for Norman Powell was a straight up finesse. Like, Gary's Gary's pretty much the same player. I'd argue a bit better than Norm at a young and he's much younger. I'd want to keep Gary if possible, but if you gotta move him, you gotta move him because he's on the last year of his deal, right? Don't know if he'll resign. But yeah, gotta trade OG. I want to see Pascal on the Blazers. If we were gonna move someone to the Blazers, I'd want to see Pascal on there, for like Simons and Shaden Sharp, something like that. I don't know if how keen the Blazers would be on moving Sharp. Not Sharp. They'd probably move him. Simons. But honestly, if they want Pascal, that's what it's gonna have to cost, right? Like, you can't just give us Sharp and like Hart, and like, unless they're tossing like all their picks, it's not worth it at all to us. I'd say if they did Simons and Sharp and then like one first, maybe two first. That's a fair deal, right? That's a fair deal. So yeah, I'm gonna look through more of this. There's a lot of seasons left. I wouldn't put it past these yet. He's responding to stuff. Inexcusable. Yeah, this core has run its course. Scotty's been balling in the fourth, playing good basketball. Yeah, it does turn into hero ball a lot. I can't even lie. Yeah, they just gotta build around Scotty, cause this core has been playing 40 minutes every game just to be losing, Like, we could have like other players, younger players developing at this point, but we're wasting time just having like like players in their prime playing 40 minutes. Like, it's just such a waste because they're just losing anyways. Like, Nick is just really like burning these players into the ground just to lose. Like, I understand like he wants to win, but you're not winning. And like, this is probably the best offensive game I've seen the Raptors play for a bit this season. Like, it's one of the best ones of the season, definitely. But their defense sucked the whole game. Like, there was stretches that was decent, but it's mostly sucked, right? So it's just, I don't know. Like, they'd probably get a new coach too if they were to restart the. Like, if they were to sell players, they'd probably get a new coach. I don't know who that coach would be. But yeah, they just can't keep Nick if they're gonna rebuild, because Nick is just gonna play the best players. Like, let's say we did get Simons and Scotty. Nick is gonna play them 40 minutes, and then whatever young players we have on the bench aren't gonna be touched, and we won't get any development, right? Like, only the starters will get development minutes, but at the same time, running them into the ground like that might cause injury, right? So it's just not worth it. It really isn't, and it's not even Nick's fault. Like, for the most part, because the front office gave him a bunch of nothing. They gave him injured Otto Porter. That's what they gave him, right? Like, what is Nick gonna do with that? Honestly, 6-game losing streak effectively ruined the season. It really did. But what can you do? Season's done. You just gotta sell. It's OG's face coming out on the court for the last shot. I knew it was going to win to him, and I knew it wasn't making it. Morale was just terrible. Morale just looks terrible. Yeah, it does. It really does. The players don't really look happy anymore. right? And how can you be happy when you're losing, when you're supposed to be winning? It's really sad. I like the core. I really like the core. Um, but honestly, like I'm not as attached to this core as I was back in, like 2020 when Gasol and Serge and Lowry were still here, and Norm. That was a core I was super attached to. That core was something like if they traded any of those guys, I'd be really sad. At the time I would have been. But this core is just it's whatever, right? I I'd want this core to win. I really would, but they can't. They can't win. If you can't win, there's no point. There's not even like a argument anymore. Like I was saying for Tampa, the Tampa season, um, there was an argument: tank or don't tank, right? Like there was the tankers and there was the non-tankers. As I said, I was the tanker, but like it just made no sense to be mid, right? And now we're mid again. But this time feels different. Like it feels like way more people are down to tank this time, and I think that's like after us getting Scotty, people are okay with it now. They understand that you can get a good player, from tanking, and that it doesn't like it. The culture's already ruined. Like it's not completely gone, but it's pretty much gone, right? Like we have a winning culture here, and it's gone. But you just gotta build a new one, right? And getting a player like Scoot Henderson, amazing. Like that player would fit this roster perfectly, perfectly. Unless they picked up Simons from the Blazers, then maybe you can talk and say Wemby. I mean, if you get the first pick, you kind of have to go Wemby. There's no choice. You're gonna look like idiots if you don't. But honestly, I'd root for the second pick in the draft just so I can get Scoot Henderson because I think that's the perfect player for the Raptors. Honestly, so legendary blow up. Yeah, you just can't lose to a team that's missing their stars on a back to back. Like you just can't. It's just so sad. Um, where's Koloko? I don't know. I don't know. Precious definitely did take Koloko's minutes. Not that like Koloko was really deserving of minutes, because he'd have a good game. Everybody would want to see him in the rotation again, and then the next like 4 or 5 games, he's kind of stunk. I'm not gonna lie. Like that's just how it kept going and going. There's no consistency, and he's a rookie, so you can't really complain. And second round rookie at that, so you can't really argue. Like the minutes, he didn't really need them, right? Uh, Flynn. Um, yeah, like you could play Flynn. Why not? You're losing anyways. Play him more. He is a pylon on defense, but I mean, like, how good has Freddie been on defense recently? Like, his offense has definitely been better, but like, whenever Fred versus a fast guard, he gets cooked, absolutely cooked. Like, or like a bigger guard, like Dejounte Murray, like absolutely like, just right over him. It was really sad to watch. I can't lie, but again, like I really like Freddie. It's sad to see him like have such a bad stretch this season, and it's looking like he's gonna have to get traded. Honestly, if we keep him, I'm gonna be super disappointed because the contract he's looking for is gonna be absurd considering the consistency level is just not there. Um, yeah, might as well develop the only 7 footer we have that does. You know who I wish we had? I wish we had Walker Kessler. That guy is special. Um, that's a player I wish I had on my fantasy as well. Um, it was a good 8 year run. It was, and it doesn't even have to like go downhill completely. Like with the assets we have, we could get young players that are good, like Simons and Sharp, right? Like in 2 seasons, Scotty, Simon, Sharp, and whatever else we get, that team would look so stacked, like definitely stacked. So, like, I don't think it's bad. Like the situation the Raptors are in are not bad. Like we have assets, so like no matter what happens, as long as we make decent trades, which the front office has done, right? Like there hasn't been trades to really complain about that we've ever done recently in the Masai era, right? Not really too many like bad trades, if any. Um, yeah, like don't even know what else to talk about, honestly. Like, it's just 22%. He's flaming Pascal. I mean, like, he's having a rough stretch. Like, yeah, this is definitely like a pretty bad stretch of games for him. And yeah, like you can see like when his shot's not falling, which is a lot. It's a bit harder for him, especially when players like are locking down the paint on him, like closing on him and stuff on the paint, and he just kind of like tosses it. He doesn't really do what he usually does, right? So that's why it's making it a bit harder for him. Um, but yeah, like he doesn't really have that many shooters around him as well. Like you'd think like the starting five could shoot, but with the inconsistency, they really like aren't that great. Uh, Damn, 28-8 to go on the to get the same record as last year is crazy. It's crazy. Like imagine like what would you like, okay, they definitely can't give up first. Like there's no trade you can do to get better at this point. Like I mean there is, but is that's worth it? No, because you'll still be mid. No matter what trade you do right now, you're still gonna be mid. You can give up a first, but why are you giving up a first when you're under 500? Right? I just don't think that'd be a good idea. Well, I say I don't think. I know that wouldn't be a good idea because if you're under 500, there's no reason to give up first, right? There's no reason at all. It's just sad. It's just sad. Like, you guys need to tell me what trades you want to see, if any. Like for me, it's definitely um, like a team. Like I would want to see a team like the Mavericks, the Suns, and the Blazers make moves for our players. Except the Mavericks don't really have assets, but the Blazers and Suns they definitely do. Like the Suns have all their picks. Young player wise, not really. Like they'd probably have to throw in like Cam Johnson and like Jay Crowder or something if Pascal was involved, but they would need to give up a lot of picks, and I'd rather just get a Simons and Sharp and like one pick than like four Phoenix picks. Um, that was elite level tanking. It was. The final 2 minutes, was like the game was basically lost. Like we were still in the lead, but it's basically lost. Like if you're that close, if you're like even if we went to overtime and won, it's still a loss because if you're that close to a team that's that injured and like just came off the back to back, is it really a win? It's not because you struggled and your starters are playing near 40 minutes, and you're struggling against a team like that. Like it's just sad. We lost to Kyle Anderson, slow mo, 20 points. How? How? And I knew D'Angelo Russell was gonna turn up in the second half. I just knew. He's so inconsistent, but I just knew it. I just had a feeling. I should put money on it. I really should have known. Well, like I did know, but I really should have just put money on it because it felt obvious to me. I don't know why. It just and that's what happened. He turned up. Like it's just whatever. Let me know what you guys think. The Raptors, they've fallen off, unfortunately. You hate to see it. Yeah, all the players are available except for Scotty, and I'm hoping that they're immediately looking at trades because you can't, bro. You're running the players into the ground for nothing. Let them be free. Let them spread their wings somewhere. If you guys want more videos, let me know. I'm down. I like making videos like this. It's fun. And I haven't for a while. And I really wanted to start this season, but I really didn't have time. I do now. I have a little bit of time, so let me know.